On the news tonight, stakeholders continue to set agenda for newly sworn-in executives as work resumes after May 29 public holiday. Anambra State Community and Social Development Agency trains local government review committees from 3 local government areas. And Court of Appeal says Senator Adeleke was qualified to contest Oshunguba polls. And in foreign news, United Kingdom, Canada, EU kick against Hong Kong's proposed extradition law. Good evening and welcome to Evening News on ABS Television. I am Ifi Arono. Now the detail. Governor Willie Obiano has felicitated with the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, on his inauguration for second term in office, encouraging him to consolidate on his earlier achievements for Ndi Enugu through more good works. The governor was speaking during the second term inaugural ceremony of Dr. Ugwuanyi, which was held at Michael Okpara Square, Enugu. Our correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there and brings this report.
Governor Obiano, represented by his deputy, Dr. Nkemo Okeke, who observed that Governor Ugwuanyi really worked for Enugu people in his first term, called on him to use the second opportunity the people have given him to serve them better. Governor Obiano also used the opportunity to congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari on his swearing in for second term in office, calling on him to make life better for all Nigerians this second term, irrespective of tribe, religion, and political affiliation.
It's wonderful. Congratulations to him and the deputy governor. They've done well for the states. The states governors try to make the states better. Everybody's expecting the federal government, the president, to make better a state of the nation.
Earlier in his address, the Enugu State Governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, appreciated people of Enugu State for supporting his re-election through their massive votes during the last election, promising to reciprocate the gesture through good governance, and appealed for their continuous support for greater Enugu State.
I appreciate your tremendous support over the years and your good conduct in the last general election. We will continue to positively tap into the resourcefulness and doggedness for the development of Enugu State. You will be given priority in our employment generation effort.
Speaking to the ABS, an Enugu resident, Chief Frank Nevo-Obasi, who rated the governor high in his achievement for the people during the first term, expressed hope that he will do more this second term.
Oh, he has done marvelously very well in the first term, and we are hopeful that he will continue where he stopped from the last term. My words to him to keep cool and look up to God for his help and continue to rule us with the fear of God.
From Michael Okpara Square, Enugu State, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And at the national level, Nigerians expect the next level administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, inaugurated yesterday, to take drastic actions in improving the security situation and employment challenges in the country. ABS Abuja Bureau crew, led by Ekwi Ajide, sought people's views on their expectations and came back with this report.
Our visit to Wuse Market showed traders in their numbers doing their normal businesses even as the inauguration ceremony was ongoing. Some traders in the market, including Alhaji Salis Yahya Suleiman, Mohammed Aliyu, and Comrade Ali M. Paul, all want the re-elected administration of Muhammadu Buhari to fulfill its promises to the masses and do everything within its powers to ensure that lives are saved through provision of adequate security.
I pray may Buhari try for security people because people are dying in Zamfara state. Everybody is not happy. That is why I pray for him. May finish the successful for 4 years remain for him.
Yes, there's mistake is there from the security purpose. When especially for northeast and the northwest here, like Zamfara, Katsina, and other states, this government that's next level to help.
I've applied for the Nigerian Army for the first time. This is 78 regular recruitment intake. My name come out and they can't remove the application number. That is what make me vote for this level, for that last government this thing.
Security. The Zone 3 shopping mall, which was usually a beehive of activities, was a shadow of itself as very few traders were seen. These traders who spoke to the ABS included Ugochukwu Obi and Uche Udume. They also had a word of advice for Mr. President.
Governance. Yes, this is his second term, and we want him to govern us well. Of course, we have seen what has happened in the past 4 years, which everyone is expecting a new leaf. There should be a new leaf. There should be a total change. You know, if we are changing, just as the change agenda said, that they are for change, and they have done the past 4 tenure. So this time I want us to change in all ramification. Let it not be in a particular sector.
No, number one, we'll thank God for carrying over from change to next level. Everybody knows that it's not easy. But now we are about to enter next level. We pray that there's going to be a lot of changes.
At the Zone 1 shopping mall, who say it was business as usual. In Abuja, Ekwi Ajide, ABS News.
And as President Muhammadu Buhari mounts the saddle of leadership as the country's president for the next 4 years, the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, has raised concerns over the recent directive and consequent withdrawal of gun licenses and banishment of all forms of guns by the federal government in Nigeria. The Catholic prelate raised the concern while exchanging views with newsmen at St. Patrick's Catholic Cathedral, Awka, on the state of the nation. Correspondent Edi Kabana brings this report.
Bishop Ezokafo, who emphasized that the law of self-defense is still in existence, noted that the move is unacceptable as it will make Nigerian citizens defenseless, recalling that a similar thing happened in Rwanda that eventually led to crisis, and prayed that it doesn't happen in Nigeria. While advocating for state police and restructuring of the country, where regions are allowed to control their resources and report to the center as obtainable in other parts of the modern world, Bishop Ezokafo decried the decision of the federal government to allegedly fund the Meyeti Allah Group with $100 million, as well as the establishment of special radio station where language of communication will only be Fulfulde, describing it as segregation. He further advised the president to see the country as secular rather than divided across religious or tribal lines, pointing out that it is very expedient to develop the Niger Delta region, which he described as the that lay the golden eggs for the nation beyond its present state, noting that addressing the gray areas raised by the citizenry will help the next administration to succeed.
I know that this country, by the grace of God, we have 2 major religions, Christianity and Islam. And God, his own arrangement, has arranged that the northern part of Nigeria is dominated by Muslims and those who are of the religion of Islam, while the south is Christian. And I think each side should respect the other side.
Bishop Ezokafo, who pledged that the church will continue to play its role of praying for the nation and its administration, expressed optimism that government must recognize the rights of citizens and care for them with fairness and equity, adding that the reason why suicide rate in Nigeria is on the increase is because most of the people that indulge in the act believed that there is no future for them, but he, however, admonished them to believe in a better tomorrow. In Awka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Well, work has resumed in earnest within Awka and environs after yesterday's national public holiday declared for the inauguration of the President, Vice President, and 29 state governors and their deputies across the country. Correspondent Kene Chukwudi, who monitored the resumption, is here with more details.
The Jerome Udoji Secretariat witnessed the presence of state government employees who were manning their duty posts with some sharing banters over the inauguration. Though there were a few number of workers seen during the morning hours when the ABS crew called, those around were carrying out their duties diligently. The head of service, Barrister Harry Udu, was said to be away for a state engagement and could not speak to the ABS. At the Unizik temporary site, economic activities were going on as traders displayed their goods soliciting for buyers. Same situation was witnessed around Amobia through to the popular Ikoka market and other major areas and intersections within the city, where there were also heavy and light vehicular movements and even that of persons. Mr. Frank Are, a civil servant, remarked that the public holiday offered him opportunity for rest and to also follow the inauguration ceremony on television, and promptly resumed work as the ethics of his work demands.
Ordinarily, yesterday was May 29th. For the inauguration, so we attended the inauguration for those of us that wanted to attend, and for today being Thursday, we have to come to work. In as much as we sympathize with the struggle, but we actually work for someone.
Some others who spoke to the ABS, Mr. Valentine Chuka and Mrs. Josephine Nweze, noted that they enjoyed all-day electricity supply, which enabled them watch and follow the inauguration ceremony across the state, and owed their employer, the state government, the duty to resume work immediately.
I owe to the government and to the state. It's my duty for me to perform my duties, and the duties are being paid off. You know, this is where I earn my living. So I must have to come and do today's work as it stands.
It was very nice. For the first time, maybe because of the swearing in, we had light all through the day. So I was able to watch the telly, watching all the new governors that were being sworn in.
In Oka, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Anambra State Community and Social Development Agency, ANSDA, has completed a twin-cell box culvert linking Uwenu Ndiago and Uwenu Ulo, which is one of the community projects launched in March this year. The general manager of the agency, Mr. Chudi Mojefu, disclosed this during a two-day training for Local Government Review Committee LGRC members from Dunukofi, Obara and Orumba South Council areas. Ebeleze reports.
Declaring the training open in Oka, Mr. Mojeku charged participants to be very responsive to the communities under them to achieve the overall aims and objectives of CSDP. He described the training as very crucial based on the skills enshrined in it and urged them to garner enough knowledge to effectively discharge their duties.
We want to see LGRC that are very responsive, very cooperative with the communities because they are there to serve the communities. And until they do their own right, the process wouldn't go further. So that's why we want to train them properly.
Taking participants on community development plan and group development plan cycles, the operation manager, Anambra State Community and Social Development Agency, Mrs. Uche Nwizubo, warned that any chosen micro project must have direct impact on the poorest of the poor in the community. Mrs. Nwizubo also noted that each project must be completed within 6 months from the date of commencement.
But in case of group development plan, we target the poorest of the poor, the vulnerables in the community group, especially physically challenged, widows, poor widows, not just widows, poor widows. The poor of the poor in the community who have already formed groups, or who can form groups, or who can meet the criteria for forming groups, who can come together as a group and benefit from this intervention.
Some of the participants, including Mr. Lawrence Onwunaka from Orumba South Local Government Area and Mrs. Anastasia Okoli from Obaro Local Government Area, promised to discharge their duties according to the stipulated guidelines.
Way of helping the less privileged and the downtrodden. Will come together, do it as a selfless service, so that the generality of the people, especially the poor, will benefit.
We are given the necessary support. You know, things will work out. The people that make up the committee I give you assurance that they are well competent. They are fully, they have the intelligence, all that it takes to do the job.
The training featured question and answer session. Rising from the 2 days training, the local government review committee members have, among other numerous responsibilities, charged with serving as the clearinghouse for CDPs, GDPs, and their integration into the local government service plan. In Oka, I am Ebele Eze reporting for ABS News.
You're still watching Evening News on ABS Television. Still ahead, Court of Appeal says Senator Adeleke was qualified to contest Osun Guba polls. And in foreign news, United Kingdom, Canada, EU kick against Hong Kong's proposed extradition law. Those stories and more after the break.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
Everybody's talking. In all the cities and all the streets.
In all the places where people meet. From Niger to yonder, we've got you talking. You are the one that's falling to keep you talking. Yeah! Hey! Talking. We got people talking. We got people talking. Yeah. Talking. We've got people talking. Dressing from east to the west to the south. Everywhere they cover, they know be mouth.
With 5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge, we get you talking. Recharge with *555* PIN #Glow.
Welcome back to Evening News. And now to legal matters. The Court of Appeal has ruled that Senator Ademola Adeleke was qualified to contest the September 2018 governorship election in Osun State. A 3-man panel of the court made the pronouncement in a unanimous judgment which upheld the appeals by Adeleke and his party, the People's Democratic Party. Justice Emmanuel Agim, who read the lead judgment of the Court of Appeal, awarded the cost of 3 million naira against the plaintiffs who instituted the suit before the Federal Capital Territory High Court. Wahab Rahim and Adam Habib, who were respondents to the appeals filed by Adeleke and the PDP. Adeleke's and PDP's appeals had challenged the April 2, 2019 judgment of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, which had declared Adeleke ineligible to contest the election on the grounds that he forged his secondary school credentials submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in 2018. Justice Othman Musa of the FCT High Court had also declared Adeleke a dropout of the Ede Muslim Grammar School in Ede, Osun State, and thus was not qualified under Section 177D of the Constitution to contest last year's governorship election in Osun State. But upturning the judgment today, Justice Emmanuel Agim, who delivered the lead judgment of the Court of Appeal, held that the suit, having not been filed within 14 days after Adeleke's Form CF-001 was submitted to INEC, or 14 days after his name was published as a candidate in the September 2018 election. The suit filed before the FCT High Court by virtue of Section 285 of the Constitution had become status barred. And in business news, due to dangers posed by liquefied petroleum gas, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, has said it is stepping up efforts to enforce compliance to regulations guiding manufacture and importation of gas equipment such as cylinders and tanks. It therefore organized a workshop to sensitize industry players on SON's quality control efforts through certification of business owners. SON threatened to withdraw licenses of business owners in the gas industry who fail to adhere to regulations guiding their operations. But in order to improve compliance, operators in the industry are demanding synergy and uniformity of policies amongst all regulatory agencies. And in foreign news, Britain and Canada have said it was vital that extradition arrangements in Hong Kong fully respect the region's high degree of autonomy from China and are in line with the one country, two systems principle. The city's independent legal system was guaranteed under the laws governing Hong Kong's return from British to Chinese rule 22 years ago, and is seen by the financial hub's business and diplomatic communities as its strongest remaining asset amid encroachments from Beijing. But Hong Kong's government is now pushing for sweeping legal changes that would, for the first time, allow fugitives captured in Hong Kong to be sent to mainland China for trial. Britain's Jeremy Hunt and Canada's Chrystia Freeland said in a statement that they had made their views clear to the Hong Kong government. And finally, in sports news, the Confederation of African Football CAF President Ahmad has said a special committee has been set up to deal with security concerns at the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt next month. At least 12 people were injured when an explosion hit a bus carrying mostly South African tourists in Cairo 10 days ago. The rudimentary device containing nails and pieces of metal was detonated on the perimeter of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Egypt's Interior Ministry said recently that militant group Hassim were planning a series of attacks in the country to create an atmosphere of chaos. The Nations Cup will feature 24 teams from around the continent to play at venues in Cairo, Alexandria, Ismailia, and Suez from June 21 to July 19. And that's evening news at this time, but do remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page, and that's at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website, and that's at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main point again. Stakeholders have continued to set agenda for newly sworn-in executives as work resumes after May 29 public holiday. Anambra State Community and Social Development Agency has trained local government review committees from 3 local government areas. And Court of Appeal has said Senator Adeleke was qualified to contest Osun-Guber polls. And in foreign news, United Kingdom, Canada, EU have kicked against Hong Kong's proposed extradition law. And that's the news edited by David Obokwasili and the production team. I am Ife Arono. Thanks for watching. Good night.